Hey guys, welcome back to the Southern Beer Review. We've got something special for you today. We are starting our third, what we call Porch series, which is something kind of new we've started to do. We did Creature Comforts as Porch series number one out of Athens. We just finished Samuel Adams, which is Porch series number two. And as we sit here on John's front porch and the rain's falling down, we're going to do our third Porch series on a brewery out of Tampa, Florida that's on my bucket list as far as going. It's called Cigar City. Jai Alai is one of my favorite beers, not just Cigar City, but all the way around. So we're going to bring you four of these beers in the Cigar City pack, and I'll kind of let John go over what we're going to do while we kick this one off.
We're not good enough at YouTube yet to know why this is backwards on your screen, but anyway, it says mix pack. And it's got Maduro Brown Ale,
which we're doing today,
Jai Alai IPA, Cosmic Crown Belgian Style Strong Golden Ale, never had it, and Fancy Papers, a hazy IPA, which I've also never had.
Yeah, I've never had those last two either. I've had the Maduro and I've had the Jai Alai. The first one we're going to do for you, and again, this is beer number one in our third Porch series. This is the Maduro Brown, and I'll let John kind of maybe give you a little bit.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it, except for I was pouring poorly, I guess, because look at the head on this thing. But I'm actually kind of pleased with it.
This one's still around, and I poured it 3 or 4 minutes ago.
Yeah. This has actually been, Maduro is named after a cigar wrapper. And if you've ever had it before, then you already know it's incredible. It may be one of my favorite brown ales ever.
Right.
And I like brown ales.
And the cigar wrapper is interesting because if you ever go to Tampa, you can visit a little neighborhood called Ybor City, and it's a Cuban neighborhood where they sell Cuban food and that kind of thing. So again, if you're ever in Tampa, go to Cigar City and then hit up Ybor City and see the Cuban neighborhood.
Comes in, a couple things I'll mention before we try it, William, is comes in at 5.5%. And it says on the can here it's brewed with flaked oats, which is interesting. I tend to like oats in beer.
Well,
so.
it smells like a brown. I mean, when you think of the traditional brown, and I love browns, this smells right down the middle to me.
Yeah, and it's a little darker than some browns I've seen too. It almost looks like, well, when you get in the light, you see more it's caramel color, but depending on where you hold it and how you hold it, could almost pass for a porter.
And I almost just stood up, put this beer down, and jumped off the rail here because I forgot how much I like this.
You just give it a taste?
I kind of cheated and gave it a sip while John was talking. There's maltiness, there's roastiness, there's a hint of chocolate.
Oh, wow.
It's I can't think of another brown right now I like any better. But that's kind of what I taste on the front end.
Yes. Absolutely, this is the definition of a really strong beer, right here. It's balanced. It's still got a little bit of complexity. It's drinkable. I mean, wow, they nailed it.
One more thing about the Maduro too is, despite the fact that it comes in at only 5.5%, it tastes like it should be a little higher. There is almost a hint of like a Belgian liqueur in there somewhere. Not dominant, but
not prominent, but yeah.
Right. An underlying flavor.
I think one of the reasons it seems like it would have more alcohol is because it's so sort of it's so thick tasting. I think because of the oats would be my guess. It's giving it a little bit of more a thicker mouth feel to it. One of the things that I don't like about some lower alcohol stouts and browns and porters is that they can often taste thin and watery to me, but this does not.
This comes at you pretty strong, and in the third and fourth taste, I got a little vanilla. And again, we're not experts. It's just this is the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, this is Porch Series number 3, following in the footsteps of Creature Comforts and Sam Adams, which we've already done. We're going to cover 4 beers in this mix pack. We're going to figure out how to get the YouTube to show the lettering in the right direction one of these days.
Maybe it just looks like that to us.
Maybe it does.
Maybe y'all see it right.
Yeah, tell us if you're watching. So we started, and I'm just super excited about this because not only is Cigar City a favorite, but the Maduro is one of my favorite beers. Period. And John, if you want to, I'll let you start the rating.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the can here, and it says it boasts notes of semi-sweet chocolate, which I get.
Got that.
Toffee with a T.
I can see it.
I'm not sure what toffee with a T tastes like.
Toffee's like a little. Toffee's like it's almost like a little caramel piece of like those little caramels we used to eat.
I can see caramel, yeah, and then the hints of fresh coffee I also get. I mean, it just nails it to me. So
Yep.
I'm gonna come with a strong. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Yep. And I'm proud of John for not taking a point off for not being in Birmingham. No, I'm just kidding.
I only do that when I'm at the brewery.
That's right. Yeah, that's interesting that you said 9 because I thought 8.5 when I first drank it. I mean, I could give it a 9 too. I just I don't have a rhyme or reason for 8.5. So 8.75, and again, I don't, unless I'm forgetting something. I'm sure we've reviewed a brown before, but I don't know that we've reviewed a brown that's quite this good to this point.
Yeah, I'm searching my memory for browns that we reviewed, and I'm like, I feel like we have, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
And let's do something different this time. We're gonna, we did the rating before we sign off. Why don't you get on the comments and why don't you put your favorite brown?
Sure.
Why don't you
love to hear from you.
Say, hey, I like Maduro, but I also like this, or I don't like Maduro. Just whatever you're feeling, put the comments, and then that way, if we have a list of browns, we can all try them together, and maybe we would even do a video or two on the browns you suggest.
We would love to, but beware. If you post something in the comments that you say is your favorite brown and it's not a brown, we're going to make fun of you relentlessly in the comments.
And you can make fun of us for the phone falling and that kind of thing, but we're getting there. So listen, guys. We appreciate your attention. Subscribe if you don't mind. It takes 2 seconds. And
awesome.
And so
help us reach our goal. We have a goal, guys. If we get 100 subscribers, and that's a very modest goal. You hear other YouTubers talking about
hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of subscribers or 5,000 subscribers. We just want to get 100. We get 100, we're going to upgrade our equipment somewhat.
So there'll be no phone falling and whatever else.
But we're still going to always use a beer bottle to prop the equipment up.
That's right. And there may be a glass in the way. There may be a thunderstorm coming by. All right, guys. So next up, we're going to do the other 3 Cigar City beers, and we're excited to continue with Porch Series number 3. We appreciate y'all sticking around.
Cheers.
Thanks.